What up, everyone? Welcome back to Channel Couch Co-op. We got Grim, we got Shapes.
Yo.
And today we are back talking about the Book of Boba Fett. Part 2 for us.
Yeah, following it up.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about episodes 5, 6, and 7, and what our thoughts, and how one of my predictions went horribly wrong, and kind of go from there. Or at least a conversation we had in private, who I thought was going to die.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, I guess no spoilers. Yeah, you know, it was good. It was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. She wants her spot.
I'm sorry. She's like, not like, get out of here, fatty.
Yeah. Like cheese or Pete's. Anyway, so yeah, you found your gut and you got your goods. All right, so you know, I thought it was good overall. It was kind of a tough pill to swallow because there are some things that happen that I'm kind of like, what?
Yeah.
They change a little bit of the point of view, if you will.
Yeah.
And I'll go with that route. So, but overall, it finished strong. It was good.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's actually really good. I think Star Wars, I just thought it was good overall. It's just great. I think Star Wars is back, baby. I mean, it's great. Oh yeah, what I was texting you about. That's what I was going to go in. All right. So Grim and I were talking, and via text, and I was telling him I was watching it finally, and it was amazing. Said it was epic. And
this was 7 specifically episode, or
right? Yeah, it was just like a few days ago. I think a couple, maybe actually 2. Anyway, as of the recording. But yeah, anywho, so we I was like, finally, it's got the heart and like the the action, like the focus on action, just like the kind of like the big bombastic, like the crew going and accomplishing things, like it was family. That's what I said. The heart of like the family, like, you know, Star Wars has always been about creating family,
right?
You know, basically with people that you meet, and so, you know, and basically going on adventures together. So that's always, I feel like, what it should be kind of about. And like, yes, there should be branches. I'm not saying it can only be that, but
right.
I think that it's been missing for a long time now.
I think the series was very entertaining. I think in parts it was not as good as like Mandalorian seasons were, but it's apples to oranges without that minor spin that we'll talk about. But is Star Wars back? Yes. But I would say the thing that would define it completely is if they had a full theatrical movie that was not hot garbage, would completely propel me into that. Okay, I'm completely bought in now. Am I excited for Star Wars projects?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's going to take a movie for you to gotta be like...
Well, unless Obi-Wan is so remarkable that I just throw my wallet at Disney Plus, which I'm already kind of doing in some aspects.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're getting our money out of it.
For sure.
We're milking it like a cow.
Right? And so, I mean, series is good. You know, perspectives, action scenes, graphics, or visual effects is the word, and just as a whole, it's a series that's really well done.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely some parts of that season that were better than Mandalorian's seasons 1 and 2 parts, and then there's some that fell a little short.
Sure.
I think, you know, the sky's the limit, and with Filoni and Favreau at the helm, we'll be glad to see where it will go. Like I said earlier, when Obi-Wan comes out, I'm very interested in what they do with that.
Yeah.
And any other characters that they pull from the Clone Wars or the Rebels universe into the fold. But I think at this point, we've beat around the bush enough. We should probably go into full spoilers. And if you haven't watched 5 and 6 by now, where have you been? So that's your own
choice. I mean, it's been epic, especially just because the internet's been a buzz. I'm sure. I mean, I don't really do social media, so I don't really follow that stuff. But obviously, like, you know, I read news outlet stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't really seeing too much on there, so that was kind of cool. But I didn't click on them either.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one who doesn't like to do spoilers at all, just because I want a true reaction, and In terms of episode 5, it was essentially a easy promotion slash jump start to Mandalorian season 3, from my viewpoint.
Yeah.
You barely even see. I don't even think you see Boba Fett. You only see Fennec Shan at the end of the episode. So you saw no Boba Fett at all, except for like the text of Boba Fett in the intro. And basically the story goes, you see where Din Djarin is now. He is in this. To me, when I saw it, it looked like the Halo ring in Halo.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It actually started on a butcher shop where he was hunting a bounty, and he was savage. And you see him use in a very ferocious fashion the first time he's used the dark saber. And he's not really good at wielding it. He actually cuts his leg open because of it. He cashes in his belt.
That's another thing. Like I want to get into. Like it gets heavier with usage.
So we'll get to that in a second. Once we talk about that. Turns in his bounty, and the Mandalorians have now inhabited this ring as they're planning. Clearly, they're oddly enough hanging on the opposite side of the ring, so they're just like, oh, we're here now. And people just don't go to that level and see them, or a starship doesn't see them, because it looks very open. So, like, if an X-Wing went underneath and like, hey, what are these people? What are they doing?
It was pretty wet.
And there's only, like, 3 Mandalorians left in this guild because a lot of them fought in the battle, died, and they're dispersed.
Yeah.
So you have the Armorer, who is, like, one of the most badass people that I feel in this show. Then you have this heavier dude who's actually played by Jon Favreau.
Is that who it is? Yeah. I thought it was, because I was like, I know it's somebody famous, but I couldn't remember.
And then you have Din Djarin, who are the last 3 of this little group at the moment. So he, uses his Beskar spear and crafts chainmail for Grogu. We don't know that. A gift for Grogu. How it's wrapped, you think it's a little mini Mandalorian helmet, which I thought would have been awesome. But they didn't go that route. And then he uses the rest of it for newfoundlings for the future of the Mandalorian race.
Just for the foundlings. They use it as like reserve.
Yeah. So then they're using the Darksaber, and he's having trouble with it. The Armorer is saying he's fighting against it. So it's not like it has its own free will. I think he's not a Force user, and also I think part of it also is like.
But neither was Bo-Katan, right? Or Moff Gideon.
Yes, but what did Moff Gideon do other than like light it up and exit out of a vehicle, right? I don't think I've seen too much. And I never watched Clone Wars. I'm actually on episode 6.
Well, he wanted... Didn't he do... He fought him with it, didn't he, though? Because he used the Beskar spear, I believe, to fight him.
I don't know. In terms of the weight against, like you said, I don't really know how that all works.
Because, like, when he was being trained with it, they were like... He was like, what was it? He was like, you're focusing too much on swinging it,
right?
And therefore, it was getting heavier to use.
I think there may be like an inner thing with the sword making you, if you are worthy to wield it, then you can wield it, and it hasn't earned like a respect. I'm not saying it's cognizant, but I think that's kind of the fold that needs to be learned by Din Djarin.
That'd be interesting if they did do something sort of like that, I guess. Maybe it's not necessarily like it's a spirit of someone in the Kyber crystal or whatever, but I don't know. Nah.
So,
maybe it's the soul of the swordsman that made it, or the Jedi that made it, rather.
Yeah. Well, he was a Jedi Mandalorian.
Yeah, it was a Mandalorian who became a Jedi.
Yeah. And so then the Favreau character, who is actually a lineage of that particular person who created the Darksaber, challenges him for the Darksaber and then loses to Din Djarin. And then the Armorer asks a question, which is like, have you ever removed your helmet? And the Favreau character said no. They asked Din Djarin, he pauses, and you're like, oh, should have lied. And he gets expelled from the group. And technically, the only way to I guess, remit.
Yeah,
or
it's like go to some kind of pit or whatever.
you go to the planet the Mandalorians inhabited, and then there's this water or well that you need to bathe in, essentially. But that planet got destroyed by the Imperials.
But it still exists, yes?
So my assumption what's going on is it's like fragmented Earth or planet, and that
or it's just eradicated planet, or like a planet. Like, that's just like...
How I view it in my head is just like multiple clusters of planet, like in a blob, essentially. Like, not like liquid blob, but just all over.
Yeah, and like it like broke apart, essentially.
And like there's grass pit here, there's like a desert piece here, and then there's like that pool of water's here. So I think that will be part of Mandalorian Season 3, where he'll try to redeem himself.
You'd think it'd be a little more famous, though, if it was something like that.
That particular pit?
No, like just the planet in general, if it was like that fucking cool looking. Where it like separated and like, you know. But it was still intact. Like, my only question is this, like, that's why my mind thinks like it's literally like a desert planet where there's nothing.
So it's Tatooine, essentially.
Well, maybe
without inhabitants.
Well, I think it's more of just a planet that was so war torn that it never came back from it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like scoured Earth.
They had that one flashback where a whole bunch of TIE bombers bombed the hell out of the surface, and then you saw all those irradiated like Mandalorian helmets just sitting there.
Well, I read the Thrawn trilogy,
but
like there was like a tactic where the Emperor was used to use when he was in power, and Thrawn kept it going, obviously. But it was where they would inhabit planets, and they would put these robots that would literally make the Earth start suffering, essentially, or the planet started suffering, and like so the crops would die and stuff like that, so they would become dependent on the Empire.
Got it. Okay.
And like stuff like that. So that's something too, where my mind kind of goes like, oh, I bet you there could have been something to that effect too, where it was like they were making the planet bad.
We'll have to see what they decide to do with it, because I think that's going to be a focal point, because Din Djarin really wants to go back to his family, right? To kind of bounce back into the episode, he's now kicked out of the Mandalorian Guild, and he needs to figure out what he wants to do with himself. So he goes on a what's the word? It's basically a non-fighter spaceship, like a mode of transportation, like a public transport.
Yeah, it's basically a bus.
Yeah, to Tatooine. And he had to check all his weapons. It was kind of funny. It was like, we get to check your weapons at the county fair and Back to the Future.
Well, what it made me think of was old westerns, because there's like a lot of westerns where they would walk into the bar, or saloon rather, and it'd be like, "Sorry, sir, I got to take your guns," and they'd always be like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, blah, and it would be a scene.
And then the secret one in the boot. Or
whatever. Exactly. And you'd show them like unloading like 5 guns out of their different places on them.
Tackleberry and Police Academy.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Tackleberry. Forgot about that guy.
So basically, so there's that, and then he goes to Tatooine because Sedaris, I think her name is Amy Sedaris, or
Sedaris. Yeah, I think it's Sedaris. I believe
she's the mechanic that she met at Tatooine, who actually babysat Grogu when he originally encountered Fennec and all that type of stuff. She says she has a spaceship for him. He thinks it's a Razor Crest, but it's actually a Nabooian fighter. Starfighter. And so it's just basically like...
It's basically what Anakin had in the first film.
Yeah, so it's essentially like a 18 montage where they put the thing back together and make it look all fancy and stuff, and he goes for a joyride, and he gets...
Honestly, truly, in my opinion, the Mandalorian episodes were the strongest. And I just hate to say it, just because it's like...
Well, I mean, the thing is you had to fill so much backstory for Boba Fett after the after the Sarlacc pit, which it wasn't completely necessary, but you wanted to... But I think what Favreau and Filoni wanted to do was expand who Boba Fett was. So yes, it would have been easy if he got out of the Sarlacc pit and then he just went to, Mos Eisley and was like, I want to be a bounty hunter again. I want to kill people again. So
I don't know. For me, I just kind of feel like they should have went to not Josie Wales. A terrible film, by the way. Not a terrible film. Just
when you said Josie, I thought you were saying Josie and the Pussycats. I'm like, what?
I
don't know what you're talking about.
I saw that like a long time ago. Anyway, once.
I think everyone did.
Yeah. I think you're correct. But anyway, the thing that's weird is like, I don't. Now I forgot my point because I got on Josie and the Cody's guys. The Man with No Names. And so, like, if you ever watch The Man with No Name in those films, like, the story just continues because his travels continue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kind of wish that they went that way with his Boba Fett's character because that's technically who he was.
It's kind of open at the end of it, right?
I mean, I get where they're going with it. Yes. I mean, I get that they filled in. I think they kind of filled in a little too much. I believe that they should have probably went a little bit more, having now edited the video that we just threw up yesterday. I know exactly what I said. So, but one point that I wanted to make then is like, I feel like they should have focused more on his relationship building and like, or negotiations and stuff like that, or being like meeting the other people and trying to intimidate them. Like that to me would have been a little more interesting than the completely fleshed out Tusken story, you know.
And mind you, I haven't watched A Man with No Name, but I think the point is like Boba Fett, the character, had 3 lines in the original trilogy, right? He had more lines, but they were throwaway lines essentially in the prequel because he's just a child. No offense.
But I think here's the reason why he was so badass is because he was mysterious. He was mysterious, but he looked cool, and and he was clearly good at what he did, and so that's why he was so famous.
Right. I think though, like you can go with that mysterious motif for a while, but to bring Tamara Morrison out of retirement. Like,
I'm not saying that because Josie Wales, for instance, he wasn't quiet.
Who was that again? Sorry?
Oh, not Josie Wales. I keep on going to that character. Man with No Name. You do not know his name.
Okay.
Man with No Name. His character, like, he talks, he's a shit talker, like, he does everything. He's not really that great of a human being. He's a good person.
Right.
But he still kind of has an edge about him.
Sure.
So, anyway.
He's like Schaefer. No,
yeah. But, so anyway, that's why, like, I think he was so appealing to a lot of people. Right. But, you know, and I think you could do that with Boba Fett, where it's just, you know, he's not necessarily, he was never a shit talker.
Right.
But he was just, like, dry and just, like, I'm going to get you anyway, or something like that,
so,
you know?
Number 1, was there a sequel to The Man with No Name?
I think it was 3 total films is what it was in the series.
So my assumption, and yet again, I haven't watched those cowboy flicks, is that they're creating something so that they can run with this show also for multiple seasons. I feel now that they'll at least do 1 more, if not maybe 3, depending on when he wants to retire, because both before they brought back Din Djarin, the 2 main characters are in their 60s.
Oh yeah.
So Tamara Morrison and Min-Na Wen, which not to say they're not capable of it.
She's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But yes.
Not to say they're not.
Don't be harsh. She's a woman.
My apologies.
Looking up.
My thing is they're not capable of this. It says they want to make sure that they can give the true story that they see fit for Boba Fett. Now, was there anything wrong with the story in episode 5 and 6? The only thing is the way he hypothetically died was kind of lame. Beyond that, he was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I just, like, yeah. Well, what was it? Bane was his name?
Cad Bane?
Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of felt like that was really the first. I have seen him before, but I just did not know who he was. It meant nothing to me.
Right.
This was my first time seeing him. And when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly Lee Van Cleef, basically, the bad guy in the Man with No Name series. Yes. And, like, because he just kind of he talked like that all the time and, like, you know, like, moved his lips, exaggerated them, and grunted it.
I'll get to him in a second, but understandably our points now that we've been rambling about this for about 10 minutes.
Sorry.
No. I'm explaining to our audience.
Yeah.
Is that my viewpoint is they're trying to flesh out Boba Fett's story a little bit more just to give it some layers, where Shaf's is saying, when you have this mysterious kind of iconic character, you don't necessarily need it because in the reference material that he's using, The Man with No Name, there was a lot of backstory into it. So I'm going to finish up the wrap up of five real quick, and then we'll jump into 6, which will lead.
Well, it was just kind of mentioned, I guess. I want to make one point here too.
Sure.
It's just like it'll be super quick, but like they did in those films, like they just kind of mentioned it, like they just because there was no flashbacks. It was just like, oh, he did this back at this point.
Sure.
It was just spoken, and your mind just had to kind of create it. I like that kind of stuff personally.
Okay. Rather
than seeing it for yourself, because.
But maybe you gotta spoon feed people now.
Yeah. Perhaps, yes. Because, like, in my mind, I don't really care to see Boba Fett fail at learning how to use the gaffy stick. Right. You know, it's like, ooh. But, I don't know. Because it's just like, he's already good at it. Why do I have to see him be bad at it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? So, anywho, that's my point.
So, Din Djarin takes the Nabooian starfighter on a joyride through Beggar's Canyon, through some of the scenes through the pod racing in Episode 1, then takes it off planet, which is interesting to note that you don't really see too many spaceships go from planetary level to outer space in one shot. It's either they start in outer space, or they start on planet. There's usually no transition. So that's one of the few times I think in Star Wars that's happened. It was pretty unique. And then he, zips by.
I think they've done it recently, and I can't think of what film. Perhaps it was Rogue One.
No. But it hasn't been done.
No. Not that much, no.
So then the other thing was this, he gets too close to the bus, the transit system, and he gets flagged by the X-Wing police. And it was my favorite cameo in that episode. I can't say the series, but...
the convenience guy.
Yeah, Appa, or I forget his name. I apologize. We'll throw it up there. He deserves a mention. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the other X-Wing pilot was the stand-in for Mark Hamill in the last season of Mandalorian.
Yes.
2.
Mm-hmm.
So they interact, and they're like, "Hey, you sound like that one or that one guy at this place with with the Imperial shenanigans or whatever," and he just punches it into hyperspace and runs away.
He goes, what is it, sub-light speed or something like that?
So basically it's just like if someone hits the NOS and then like cops are like, well, we can't chase this, whatever.
Yeah.
And so kind of like that wraps up that part.
The end, like it was like the last like minute of the final episode.
He lands and then...
with Grogu. When he was like tapping on the glass?
Yeah. So he lands on the docking bay. Sidara says someone has come in to try to, ask for you and old friend, and it's Fennec asking for his help as she needs now bodies to fight this war against the Pike Syndicate. So that's 5, and then 6 is basically...
What was the race again? I can't remember.
Pike.
Was it Pike?
Yeah.
It was just Pike, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they had some kind of like crustacean name for some weird reason.
I mean, I could be wrong. You can look it up.
I don't know.
So I don't remember 6 as vividly because usually I've been watching each episode twice, but I haven't watched 6 twice. But basically, it starts off with Mandalorian going somewhere. Like, does he go to the planet first, or just what happens? I don't remember.
Because he was, I think. He did do something before he went to the planet. Because he was like, I have to go visit somebody.
Yeah, I think that's when at the end of 5, though. He's like, I have to go to visit someone before I join your little army. So he goes, and you assume he's going to go see Grogu. And he gets to the planet. When he gets to the planet, these like ant robot things come out of nowhere and like freak him out. And then R2 is right there too. And R2's making...
Was that it though? Well, I thought he was like he traveled somewhere, saw someone briefly, and then he said like kind of the same line. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of because he saw Ahsoka.
Ahsoka was after.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka. Sorry.
So basically, what happens is like he goes to the planet that Luke is training Grogu. He wants to go see him, but R2's like, you're going to have to wait. And so the ant things build him a bench, so he falls asleep on it. But in the distance, it's Luke training Grogu how to lift things, manipulate the Force, and do things like levitating things, and then he tries to levitate a frog, and then Luke's like, haha, I levitate all the frogs. And then,
which is kind of cool.
Yeah, teaching him to jump because he's got the wee little peg legs and using the Force to allow him to jump.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luke tries to go in and talk about Yoda, and because Grogu's so small, he's just Force pushing Grogu along.
Well, he was like doing the swing, like when the kid like holds onto the parents' arms and like they swing him forward so he could catch up to them, kind of.
And so they basically show, him, Grogu training. They bring back that lightsaber droid that fires little lasers. Grogu gets zapped, and then they cut back to Mandalorian who's sleeping, and then he wakes up and it's.
You're getting way too detailed, bro.
Yeah.
You break it down in every fucking scene.
Right. It's just I'm trying to recall in my head. Ahsoka Tano's there. They talk about what's going on. Mandalorian wants to call him a foundling, and Ahsoka wants to call him a Padawan, and basically saying like, you're only going to distract him. He's here to train. You should let him be. So he's like, well, give this gift to Grogu, and I'll be on my way. He flies away, and then.
I thought it was pretty cool. Like I thought it was kind of cool that Ahsoka was there. I don't know why I keep on saying Ahsoka. I've been watching a lot of.
The episode started with. Cad Vance, didn't we? Because he was stopping the spice trade.
That's right. And then we see Cad Bane the first time, I think, right?
No, that's at the end of the episode. Because at the end of the episode is when he shoots Cad Vance in the arm, and it cuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Because he stops. Is that at the beginning?
The spice trade
is
just a spice trade.
Yeah.
The end is just like, why are you messing with my spice trade?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, well, it shouldn't be here. I'm the marshal. Points his belt buckle, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
All the things you're going to point your belt buckle?
I know.
It's like a senior picture where you're just pointing at your dick the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I just wondered. I was like, it's not even cool looking. Like stripes on a metal, like a crafted shaped metal.
Off of one video I saw, the stripes are very similar to the stripe badge that was given to, who's that girl who got all the flack for saying stuff? Guerrero or?
Yeah, Gina Carrera? No, Guerrera.
Yeah.
I think it's Guerrero.
So,
Gina Carino.
Yeah. So she got a badge from an X-Wing pilot, and it had the same stripes, like a warden. So it's the warden symbol of the Star Wars galaxy. But yeah,
I don't know. What did you think? Like the breakout, cool shout-outs? Because nothing really happened. Well, did we skip ahead? Because literally the whole episode was him going there to see Grogu, right? And then he left.
Yep.
Then ended up meeting back up with Boba Fett.
Trying to recruit people, and everyone's like, no.
Yeah.
And them trying to create a plan.
Yeah.
So in terms of cool shout-outs, you have Ahsoka coming back, you have Luke Skywalker coming back, you have Grogu coming back. Excuse me. In terms of other things, you had Cad Bane at the end.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of all the holy cow moments.
Yeah.
Because in the middle right there, like I said, they try to recruit people, no one really wants to help them, and they're just trying to figure out what they're going to do with this impending war between the Pike Syndicate and them.
I wonder, because Cad Bane, like I said, was the first, that was really cool to me. I hadn't seen him before, and I was like, damn, that's kind of cool that they have a old Western style,
So you want a little bit of backstory?
Bounty hunter. Well, I actually went online and read, so I know he actually did train Boba Fett, I guess, when he was young.
So Jango Fett and him were partners.
Okay, partners.
Yep.
Okay.
And then he trained Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And then there was a pretty infamous duel that they pre-shot in CGI but never put it into the Rebels. The dent in his forehead was actually from a shot from Cad Bane.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the tubes for him are to prevent him from being force choked.
Yeah.
And he's in a lot of the Rebels and a lot of the Clone Wars, where there's specific storylines where I think Darth Sidious asked him to find all Force-using children and then kill them. So he sent them all around the world to kill kids.
Yeah.
And then, he's just a bad person, but he's usually, chaotic neutral.
Okay.
And, he doesn't... he does not like the Imperials,
Okay.
but he also is a badass.
Yeah.
So,
But he likes killing. He just likes killing things, I guess.
So being a BA, right?
Yeah.
Badass. So, basically, they're trying to recruit people, and people are saying no. Cad Bane comes out. People lose their shit in the fact that I lost my shit. Like, oh my god, it's that person, because I watched it with my wife, and she's like, you know this person? And I loaded up Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, like, this character. I have no idea who it is, but it's in this character game. And she's like, you're weird. I'm like, yes, I am.
Hey man, when the dots, I'd be interested because now they're doing stuff with Thrawn, right, or something, or at least I know they're publishing books with them in it, which is depressing.
The thought is that didn't they hint at Thrawn at the end of Mandalorian season 2?
No, I think they just hinted at the Red Sun or whatever game.
Oh. At the end of Mandalorian 2?
I believe that's what it was.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like Darth Maul's gang?
Yeah, maybe.
Because they showed Darth Maul. Didn't they? No.
That was at the end of Han Solo.
That's right. Okay. Or maybe, it had to be about her, I believe. Or, what is it, Kira? Or something?
So my understanding is how it's left is clearly Grogu goes off with Luke to train.
Yeah.
But I think in a conversation with Ahsoka prior, I think or the rumor is she's trying to find Ezra.
Yeah.
Ezra's the young man who's actually voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, but he's up now. Oh, so maybe it'll be him now, like current age. That'd be kind of cool.
But he needs to get blue hair and look darker complected.
That can happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. But, anyways, off topic. That's 6 in a nutshell. I really like Ahsoka, but I also really, really like Rosario Dawson. So she wins in my book. Cad Bane was a really cool nod. And I'm learning more backstory and very intrigued about how his character fleshes out.
How many episodes is he in? Is he...
Probably 5 to 10 at least.
Really?
Because there's 9 seasons of Clone Wars.
Ugh.
And they're not bad. I've been watching them.
I guess they're only 22 minutes, right?
No. So the Clone Wars cartoon, there was a drawn cartoon.
Yeah, but that's not canon.
Yeah,
right?
Those are the 20-minute shorts, and there's 9 of those.
Okay.
Then there's a Clone Wars movie where Anakin gets his first Padawan, which is Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
And then there's 9 seasons of Clone Wars where the end of it is where you get your Darth Maul fighting Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was the final.
No, it's not the finale, but it's in there. That's what I'm saying. And then technically at episode or season 7 is when Rebel starts, but it's not canonically connected. It just that's what it released. So Clone Wars was doing really well for 6 years. Let's do Rebels.
Okay.
And then Rebels did very well. So my plan is Clone Wars, watch all 9 seasons, do Rebels, and then go to Bad Batch.
Jesus. And they're all is it in time with each other? Bad Batch is during Clone Wars, is it not? Or after?
It is after, because
so it's
the
during
Bad Batch,
Rebels.
Yeah. Bad Batch is a group of misfit clones, but they don't follow Order 66.
Yes.
So, and I don't know too much about it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But we'll go into episode 7 now, which is not The Force Awakens.
Yes.
It's the last episode of Book of Boba.
Fucking awesome,
yes.
man.
So it's basically the end of 6 was basically those 2 Pike syndicates going to the bar, dropping the ice cream maker, and exploded as a bomb.
Oh yeah.
So basically, Boba, Fennec, and Din Djarin go to the bar and what the hell's going on? Let's evaluate. We need to make a plan. Blah, blah, blah. And they're well, let's go to the palace. And no, it's too far away. Don't hide in the palace. And so they end up finding out that everyone's going to F them over. Every group that they created a peace treaty with basically threw that out the window. And they're whatever, you're dead. And so this.
They get fucked totally.
Yeah, this horrible like in each stage that they're watching. So like,
well, they don't. Yeah, they basically say we're not teaming up with you because they fear the Pikes more. It seems.
Well, they said they would choose to be neutral, and then they reneged on that offer because all those three groups started attacking Boba Fett's gang.
That's right.
So the mods, Black Chrysanthemum, who else was on their team? The two Gamorrean guards.
Yes, and then is there any more?
I think there may have been one more. Either way, but they get attacked, and to my knowledge, the two Gamorrean guards are dead. They fell off a cliff.
Yeah, they're gone.
You think
they did?
Yeah, you think Black Chrysanthemum is dead,
Rancor.
but he is apparently the biggest beast ever that could take anything. It's ridiculous how much he took, and he was still alive.
Yeah.
And then basically, there's like 3 people in this building. You think the mods are dead too, and you're like, this is what happens. Yeah, Boba Fett, when he thinks instead of just as a bounty hunter, kills everyone, and they get surrounded.
I mean, it just goes like Wild West style, essentially.
So they're in the saloon, they're looking out their peepholes, and they're surrounded, and Fennec leaves to try to cut off. I don't know. She left to go do something.
Well, they basically told, because he wanted her to go on the high ground, I think, and like scope something out. I believe, and she left because then wasn't there like a sniper as well? Or like it was something to that effect.
Yeah, but she eventually had to pass the message along to get the mods back or something like that to protect the mods because they didn't die yet.
Yeah. Yes. And then because they left, and then Din and fucking
Boba just went fucking nuts.
Yeah,
it was such a
fucking soared over.
Yeah,
they became angels of death. Just.
So it was really cool. Dual jetpacks just going nuts. And seeing the Beskar just absorb the blasters and being alive, and they killed off one of the 3 gangs, and then the Pike Syndicate to start flooding the street. It was like
nonstop.
Yeah,
man. I mean, the thing that I thought though is I was like, with how many people they killed, like there should have been a shit ton of bodies on the floor, and there were practically none.
Well, maybe in Monty Python, bring out your dead wagons, right?
Just kept on shoveling. I mean, because then people were dropping left and right, and I was just like, what the?
Yeah.
I figured I'm like, damn, are they gonna just have a bunch of bodies laying there? That'd be epic. Yeah. No, they just blink out of existence.
So yeah, and basically,
fade out of existence. It's like a video game.
It's like Yoda disappears. But yeah, so what happens? The mods come through, and then
yes, I guess. Well, they do get their asses handed to them.
Yeah,
and they kind of get back, and then they start beating them back, and then of course they send out their Ace in the Hole, which is 2 robot sentry things that are massive.
Yeah, it's 3 technically.
Really?
They were like the droidicas, but they were bigger. And then the people
and
from
full shield.
Yeah, the people from Freetown or whatever it's.
Yes.
Came in and gave them support, and then they just started getting annihilated by these shielded things. We can't stay. We gotta split up. So. Din and Boba try to create a diversion so everyone can get away, and they're kind of getting owned. Even Din pulls up the darksaber, tries to go through the shield, doesn't really work.
Yeah.
And then mysteriously Boba just disappears, and you're like, okay, he's just had to go to the bathroom.
Well, no, he said he said he was like, I'll be right back, I swear.
I was thinking he just really needed to take a shit. He just
no, because he said he was going back to his place, and I was like, he's like, I swear to God, I'll be right back. I have a great idea.
Did you know that that's what he was going to go for?
I had an idea. It took me a second because I was like, wait, what the fuck could he get? And it took me a minute.
I thought it was his slave one, pew pew.
Oh, yeah. I thought to myself, I was like, what would he take to a town? And I was like, well, he does have the Rancor now because Danny Trejo. Yes. But
all hell Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I love that guy. He has a great sense of humor, and but about himself, that's what's great. But went to prison for a long time. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So anyway. Really good. I thought that was pretty neat. Like the Rancor part was kind of cool, very reminiscent of like King Kong, like 1933 King Kong.
A little bit of Jurassic Park, sliding in the things,
Yeah,
etc.
which was cool. And Boba Fett riding a beast, just like the retro. Yep, the retro cartoon.
The holiday special.
Yep.
So yeah, basically it's just a firefight. Oh, before that, Cad Bane comes to the town.
Oh yeah, and challenges
and
Boba.
challenges, and Boba is just like, "Oh, let's go," and Finnick's like, "You're too emotional. You're putting too much shit in this. Just leave him alone.
You're gonna lose."
Yeah. And so battle goes back and forth, and you don't know what's really gonna happen, and the Rancor does its job, kills the three like big robots, and then they.
It takes a little bit of battling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really frame it shot by shot.
Din Djarin actually throws it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he does break through at one point and uses Darksaber.
Yeah, cuts the legs off of one of them.
But good God, he sucks with that thing.
Yeah.
Every time I watch him, I'm just like, oh. I'm like, dear Lord, it can't be that bad. But he's a great fighter. Obviously, he's good at shooting. Debatably better than Boba Fett. I mean,
but shooting and sword wielding, well, different dexterities, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because hand to hand.
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I think about like his because he did have that gun / staff thing.
Oh yeah.
And then he also had the Beskar spear thing.
Used it all in 3 scenes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But anyways, no, I mean it's kind of falling in line what you think is going to happen, and then Cad and Boba kind of line up again, old Western style, tumbleweed, if you will.
Yeah. Challenge. The old, literally, well, not literally, but just like literally the old Mexican standoff. Like that's exactly the stereotypical.
So eventually, it's Cad is pretty much going to win, and it looks like Boba Fett's going to die, and then he brings out his gaffy stick and goes Tusken Raiders on his butt and kills. Yeah. He looks like he stabs Cad in the chest.
Yeah.
And the victory is won. Cheering. I can Grogu.
Well, I actually you totally did. I was like, wait a minute, you totally skipped the great part. I told Grim this too. I was like, dude, I went back and watched the Grogu reveal of this episode 5 times probably at least. It was just so fucking precious to me. Just the way anyway, but yeah,
during the fight essentially an X-Wing lands in the hangar for Sedaris' place, and R2 drove Grogu, and he's wearing the chainmail. At the end of episode 6, Luke gives him a choice. Do you choose Yoda's lightsaber or chainmail from the Mandalorian? Do you essentially basically saying, do you want to be a Mandalorian or do you want to be a Jedi?
Yeah.
And he chose to be a Mandalorian, even though it's unique because a lot of people out there on the internet, it's like, there are no definites for the Jedi, right? And he's like, you can only choose one.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, that's true. Well, I get it. I get the path that they're going.
Yes.
Because it's just he's clearly going to get wield the Darksaber.
Yeah.
And it's he's going to be a Force user. So he's the next Mandalorian Jedi. Yeah. So it's
circle.
Exactly. Ahsoka. It's Ahsoka. When you think about that, it's so racist.
I said full circle.
Yeah. It's Ahsoka. But anyway, but you made the motion. But it's really cool. It was great to see him again, and the two of them back together. Because to me, it was like father and son reuniting.
Sure.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
Just Grogu's face when he saw him and how excited he was, and he literally leapt in his arms from 4 feet maybe. Yeah. Obviously he used his Force jump, but it was cute. It was just kind of funny. It was just he had his arms up like this, and he just Superman into his arms he even made a noise. He went like that. I watched it. Like I said, 5 times. He made a little noise and I'm like, oh, that's so adorable.
Oh, and we also forgot the part where they flash back to Order 66. Where he sees in his eyes what happens, and it's 3 Jedi fighting off clones.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so he was in the temple. We just don't know how he got out of the temple. There is a rumor that R2D2 smuggled him on the inside of himself. And that's how he got away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so rumors, internet, etc.
Yeah.
But also in terms of rumors, I thought Boba Fett or Fennec Shand was going to die, and I was horribly wrong.
Yeah. I like, it's good. It's fun to speculate, though.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, like, with Grogu, like, that was kind of a big part. He plays, like, the Deus Machina part, where he pulls, like, the bolt out of the leg of one, saves Din, and then, what was the other one he did? He picked up, no.
He threw something, I think. He force push something?
No, I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, in that sequence also, the Rancor...
he picked up... No, he put the Rancor to sleep.
Yes.
That's what
So basically what he did was... The Rancor went Berserker mode, Wolverine style, after Boba Fett got thrown off of the Rancor because Cad was shooting at him. And then the Rancor went full, like King Kong destroying the city, and then Grogu was like, hey, guess what? Sleep.
Yeah.
And then the cutest part was Grogu snuggled up, like, and got spooned by the Rancor.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cute.
So with that said, like I said, Cad gets McAfee stick to the chest, and the Syndicate is the Syndicate. That's where she went. She went to Mos Eisley to kill the.
Well, that was at the end.
Yeah, but yeah. The Crime Syndicate is gone. The Pike Syndicate's gone. They're not going to run Spice anymore, and it kind of like it's the Peter Jackson multiple endings, where the first ending's like.
Well, the thing right. Go ahead, sorry.
No, it's just like Boba Fett and Fennec, wrap it up, and I get the impression of what he says is like, oh, I'm kind of bored with this. What's next?
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out who should take care of, or who would be the new what's it called, daimyo of the area.
Oh yes.
And they're probably going to go on their next adventure. And in that, after that, they cut to Din Djarin in the Naboo starfighter, and then the droid pit is actually Grogu in his little...
Yeah, he's got a dome thing.
And he has a little speed shifter of the old Razor Crest, and he's knocking on the window, and you're just like, why is he being annoying? He's just being a kid, what's going on? And Din's like, no, tap, 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 no, tap, tap, tap. It's like, okay, last time, and he punches into...
Yeah, he punches sub-light speed.
You can see him smiling, yay!
Yeah, he goes, ah!
And then, what else happened? The after credit scene is in the bathtub tank is Cad Bane, but
no, it's Varth, isn't it, or Vanth?
Yeah, Cad Vanth, right?
Is it Cad?
Thought so.
Just like Cad Bane?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Oh.
But he's in the bathtub tank, and you can see the modder surgeon, who's a musician actually in real life, getting ready to cut him up.
Really?
His song was actually playing when he's doing surgery on Fennec Shand. But the interesting things that I noticed from that episode is I don't think Cad Bane's dead, because on his box it was still blinking, and they intentionally zoomed in on that box, still blinking. So if he was dead, that would have eventually just stopped. And
I mean, yes, I guess.
And also, like, if you just get stabbed in the chest or right in the box, it could have been just like, we both were, trained the same way, and I don't like to end you, I'm just going to stop you.
Well, like when he did, I don't know.
We'll have to review it, but I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I saw articles spinning around that literally said, "Is Cad Bane really dead?" And I was like, "It really."
You brought him back for 2 episodes.
Like, I mean, well, sure. I mean, well, he's also been around for a while, but they also are probably like doing it's the Disney formula right now. They literally are just kind of like,
nostalgia.
Let's see if this sticks.
So it's a dash of nostalgia, a dash of fan service. And a dash of new graphics.
Yes.
Right, or new technology.
New technology, yep.
So
you're 100% right.
So, I mean, with me, without me just explaining everything again and again, it's just the series was executed very well. I liked it a lot. I believe, in my personal belief, that there will be a second season or a book 2.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is the formula, like we said, for Disney. They're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I don't think they've come out with anything that has really not made it so a second season of a show would not come back. Like, yes, I don't see a Falcon and the Winter Soldier 2 coming out because the main storyline was making Captain America. Like, could I see them doing a WandaVision? Or something with Wanda again? Yes. Can I see them doing Loki? It's already been filming. They're already doing a What If season 2.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, I would love another Hawkeye. That was great, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen.
And
I think it'll probably be like a... Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it will be another Hawkeye season because when you think about it, he's still got a trainer, and they haven't even brought in.
Or she can just be Hawkeye. You know, he
yes,
getting closer for him to be retired.
Yeah, it could have been his past the baton stage, but I think
Past the Martin.
Yeah. Seriously, when you think about it, they're both C and K, I guess. Never mind.
No.
I thought it was KBs, but anyway.
Yeah, but so in terms of Star Wars, Mandalorian season 3 is going to come out, and then Bad Batch I hear is doing very well. In terms of Book of Boba, we can assume that'll be a season 2, but all the other stuff, the other stuff that hasn't come out yet,
right?
End of March.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately now we have a month and a half now of no Disney Plus series that is brand new live action. I think Bad Batch is still going on. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I haven't watched it. But
I just is it even good? Like, I just feel like it's like, is it childish at all? Because I watched like a few episodes of Rebels when I was getting a tattoo one time, and I was just kind of like, I was like, meh. I think
you needed to be in a certain mindset for it.
I mean, I wasn't going anywhere.
Right, but were you like, ow, okay?
No. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not pleasurable, but I mean, like, yeah, when you're, for me, a tattoo's just kind of like if somebody was just dragging their nails on your arm very hard for a long time, like that's kind of what it is. It's like you could ignore it by watching something.
I would say
I can at least.
For you, start with the Clone Wars movie. If it's watchable, then you know that Clone Wars, the series, could be watchable. And and the thing is Rebels, yes, I believe it's going to be a little more younger and a little more immature, just because the age level of those particular characters are a lot younger than your teenage and young adult Annie and your old man middle-aged
He's
Obi-Wan.
Not really. Is he teenage at that point?
He's hypothetically like 20s, I would assume.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're dealing with 20s and 40s Anakin Obi-Wan and like a teenage Ahsoka Tano versus like a droid, the young Jedi, the blind Jedi, and some other people. So either way. But to wrap it up, I mean, what other notes do you have about the Book of Boba?
Like I said, I just felt like it was a little all over the place, I'll admit.
Yep.
I don't...
It's kind of like our videos.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. We get on tangents, yes. But, I mean, I think that's the beauty of it, though. Like, we know about the breadth of said series. But, I don't know. Like, for me, it's great. It's back to the old school Star Wars, at least in general, overall. Again, flashbacks I felt like could have been shaved down, fleshed out with more current events, and
unless they do something with it.
I mean, they are. I know what they're building towards, but I think the mystique of Boba Fett is kind of more, in my mind, a lot more cooler than fleshing him out more.
Sure.
And I think because they're doing that with Shan Fennec, like. We were fucking that up last video, by the way. We kept on calling her Fan Shanik.
Fennec Shan.
No, yeah, Fennec Shan, right? Yeah, sorry, I did it backwards the first time. Sorry, Fennec Shan. Sorry, anyway. So, I think, the route that they did with her is the route that they kind of should have went with Boba Fett.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Where she's just kind of a fun character. She's there. She's badass.
Well, that was my prediction for you. I thought that Boba Fett would die, and then book 2
Yes.
of Book of Boba was Fennec Shan's
And I
story.
thought it would be cool if she got his armor. Like
Yeah.
that would be kind of neat. Like yes, she's already bionic.
Yeah, Cyborg.
Yes. Yeah, cyborg, I guess, would be the technical. But yeah, so it's just, I like it. It's cool. I'm interested to see where they go with it. I think it's going to kind of go more so like he's going to take over the other cities. I think Mos Eisley is probably going to be the big one, and it'll be
I
in
think he's
over
gonna
his
go
head.
off planet.
Already? He
I-
can't. He doesn't even own the planet. How could he go off?
I think he's gonna give the Cad Vanth Freedom Town and Mos Espa, and he's gonna go off planet and try to fix the world like a rogue.
What, bring water there?
Well, not. I mean, he's gonna be like your
The
anti-hero.
Messiah. No, that's why it's Book of Boba. That's fucking funny.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, like with what's coming up, you have Obi-Wan for the next Star Wars series. You have Moon Knight for the next Marvel cinematic series. We'll probably do videos on that. We enjoy them a lot, and
Yeah.
y'all
Clearly.
Yeah. So I mean, any other final thoughts?
I don't know, man. Go outside and play sometimes. No.
Everything's not in front of the screen. So
I'm
But-
just fucking around.
beyond that, just like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, later.